Welcome to a journey through the minds of history's greatest thinkers. Today, we're exploring 50 philosophers who shaped our understanding of the world, life, and everything in between. Let's dive in. Socrates, the father of Western philosophy, taught us to question everything. His method of inquiry, known as the Socratic method, still influences how we think and learn today. Imagine a world where every assumption is challenged, every belief examined. That's the world Socrates envisioned. Next, we have Plato, Socrates' most famous student. His allegory of the cave is a mind-bending thought experiment that has captivated thinkers for millennia. Picture this: prisoners chained in a cave, only able to see shadows on a wall. They believe these shadows are reality. But what happens when one escapes and sees the true world outside? This allegory challenges our perception of reality and knowledge. Aristotle, Plato's student, was a master of logic and reason. He categorized and systematized knowledge in a way that laid the foundation for modern science. His works on ethics, politics, and metaphysics continue to influence thinkers today. Moving east, we encounter Confucius, the philosopher of kindness. His teachings emphasize the importance of personal and governmental morality, correctness of social relationships, justice, and sincerity. Imagine a world governed by these principles. How different would our societies be? Back in Europe, we meet Friedrich Nietzsche, who challenged conventional morality with his concept of beyond good and evil. He encouraged us to question traditional values and create our own. His idea of the Übermensch, or Superman, inspired many to strive for greatness beyond societal constraints. Immanuel Kant gave us the categorical imperative, a principle of ethics that states we should act only according to rules that could hold for everyone. It's a powerful idea that asks us to consider the universal implications of our actions. René Descartes famously said, "I think, therefore I am." This simple statement revolutionized philosophy by providing a foundation for knowledge based on the certainty of one's own existence. Epicurus taught that the path to happiness lies in living modestly and limiting desires. In our consumer-driven world, his philosophy offers a refreshing alternative. John Stuart Mill championed individual liberty, arguing that the only justification for interfering with someone's freedom is to prevent harm to others. His ideas continue to shape debates about personal freedom and societal responsibility. Friedrich Nietzsche's concept of the Übermensch encourages us to transcend conventional morality and create our own values. It's a challenging idea that has inspired countless individuals to strive for greatness. Jean-Paul Sartre's Existentialism emphasizes individual existence, freedom, and choice. His famous quote, "Existence precedes essence," suggests that we are born without a predetermined nature and must create our own meaning in life. Simone de Beauvoir, Sartre's lifelong partner, was a pioneering feminist philosopher. Her work, The Second Sex, laid the groundwork for modern feminist theory, challenging societal norms and expectations placed on women. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, practiced Stoicism, teaching us to focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot. His meditations continue to offer wisdom for navigating life's challenges. Hannah Arendt's concept of the banality of evil emerged from her coverage of the trial of Nazi Adolf Eichmann. She argued that great evils in history were not executed by fanatics or sociopaths, but rather by ordinary people who accepted the premises of their state and therefore participated with the view that their actions were normal. Laozi, the founder of Taoism, taught the wisdom of living in harmony with the Tao, or the way of nature. His philosophy emphasizes simplicity, spontaneity, and non-action. Heraclitus famously said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice." This profound statement encapsulates his philosophy of constant change and flux in the universe. Pythagoras, known for his mathematical theorem, also founded a philosophical and religious movement. He believed that reality is fundamentally mathematical in nature. Thomas Hobbes argued that without strong central authority, human life would be solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. His work laid the foundation for social contract theory. David Hume challenged the limits of human knowledge, arguing that we can never be certain about cause and effect relationships. His skepticism continues to influence modern philosophy. Baruch Spinoza proposed a radical idea that God and nature are one and the same. This pantheistic view challenged traditional religious concepts and influenced later philosophers. Michel Foucault explored how power structures in society shape knowledge and discourse. His work continues to influence fields from sociology to literary criticism. Albert Camus grappled with the absurdity of human existence in a seemingly meaningless universe. Despite this, he argued for embracing life and finding meaning in the struggle itself. Diogenes, the ancient Greek philosopher, lived in a barrel and rejected societal norms. His radical lifestyle challenged conventional ideas about wealth, power, and happiness. Søren Kierkegaard explored the nature of faith, arguing that it requires a leap beyond reason. His work laid the foundation for existentialist philosophy. Ralph Waldo Emerson championed self-reliance and individualism. He encouraged people to trust their own instincts and ideas rather than conforming to societal expectations. Zeno of Elea is famous for his paradoxes, particularly the one about Achilles and the tortoise. These mind-bending thought experiments continue to challenge our understanding of motion and infinity. Seneca, the Roman Stoic philosopher, wrote extensively on the brevity of life. He argued that we waste much of our limited time on trivial pursuits and should focus on what truly matters. John Locke proposed that humans are born as blank slates, shaped by their experiences. This idea had a profound impact on education and political theory. G.W.F. Hegel developed the concept of the dialectic, a process of historical and philosophical progress through the resolution of conflicting ideas. This concept influenced many later thinkers, including Karl Marx. Arthur Schopenhauer argued that the fundamental characteristic of reality is will, which leads to suffering. However, he believed that art, compassion, and asceticism could provide relief from this suffering. Karl Marx's philosophy of history, known as historical materialism, argues that economic systems and class struggles drive historical change. His ideas continue to influence political and economic thought worldwide. Jiddu Krishnamurti encouraged people to free themselves from the known, including societal conditioning and personal beliefs. He argued that true freedom comes from direct perception of reality. Ludwig Wittgenstein explored the limits of language and its relationship to reality. He famously stated, "The limits of my language mean the limits of my world." Noam Chomsky's work in linguistics revolutionized our understanding of language acquisition and structure. He also became known for his political activism and critiques of power structures. Bertrand Russell championed the value of philosophy, arguing that it expands our conception of what is possible and enriches our intellectual imagination. Zhuangzi's famous butterfly dream questions the nature of reality and identity. He asked, "Am I a man dreaming I'm a butterfly, or a butterfly dreaming I'm a man?" Jacques Derrida developed the concept of deconstruction, which challenges the idea that words have fixed meanings. This approach has had a significant impact on literary criticism and philosophy. Gilles Deleuze proposed the concept of the rhizome as a model for thinking and culture. Unlike hierarchical tree-like models, the rhizome allows for multiple, non-hierarchical entry and exit points in interpretation and representation. Frantz Fanon explored the psychological impacts of colonialism on both the colonized and the colonizer. His work continues to influence post-colonial studies and critical theory. John Dewey emphasized the importance of education in creating a democratic society. He argued for experiential learning and the development of critical thinking skills. Mary Wollstonecraft, writing in the 18th century, was a pioneering advocate for women's rights. Her work, A Vindication of the Rights of Woman, laid the groundwork for modern feminism. Slavoj Žižek, a contemporary philosopher, draws on psychoanalysis and Marxism to critique modern culture and ideology. He challenges us to question what we perceive as reality. Epicurus founded a school of philosophy known as Epicureanism, which taught that the greatest good is to seek modest, sustainable pleasure in the form of a state of ataraxia, tranquility, and freedom from fear, and aponia, the absence of bodily pain. Jean-Jacques Rousseau famously claimed that man is born free and everywhere he is in chains. He argued that the progression of society and civilization had corrupted human nature. Derek Bell, a pioneer in critical race theory, used storytelling to explore the persistence of racism in American society. His work continues to influence discussions on race and law. Peter Singer has challenged our ethical frameworks, particularly in relation to animal rights and global poverty. He argues for expanding our circle of moral consideration beyond just humans. Albert Einstein, beyond his contributions to physics, also pondered philosophical questions about the nature of reality and human knowledge. He famously said, "The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is comprehensible." Leo Tolstoy, known for his novels, also wrote extensively on philosophy, particularly on the meaning of life in the face of death. He argued that true meaning comes from living for others. Martin Heidegger's work, Being and Time, explores the nature of existence itself. He argued that traditional philosophy had forgotten the question of being and sought to reawaken this fundamental inquiry. These philosophers have shaped our understanding of the world, challenging us to think deeply about existence, morality, knowledge, and the human condition. Their ideas continue to resonate, inspiring new generations to question, explore, and seek understanding. As we navigate the complexities of the modern world, these philosophical insights offer valuable perspectives, encouraging us to examine our beliefs, challenge our assumptions, and strive for a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Remember, philosophy isn't just about abstract ideas. It's about how we live our lives, make decisions, and understand our place in the universe. Each of these thinkers offers a unique lens through which to view the world. Whether you're drawn to Socrates' method of questioning, Nietzsche's call to create your own values, or Confucius's emphasis on kindness and social harmony, there's wisdom here that can enrich your life and broaden your perspective. As we conclude this journey through philosophical thought, I encourage you to delve deeper into the ideas that resonate with you. Read the original works, engage in discussions, and most importantly, apply these insights to your own life. Philosophy is not meant to be a passive subject. It's a tool for living, for understanding, and for growth. In a world that often seems chaotic and confusing, these philosophical ideas can provide a framework for understanding, a guide for ethical living, and a source of wonder at the complexity of existence. They remind us of the power of human thought to grapple with the biggest questions of existence and to continually seek understanding and wisdom. So the next time you're faced with a difficult decision, a moral dilemma, or simply pondering your place in the universe, remember these philosophers. Their ideas have stood the test of time because they speak to fundamental aspects of the human experience. They challenge us to think critically, to question our assumptions, and to strive for a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. In the end, philosophy is not about finding definitive answers, but about asking better questions. It's about the journey of inquiry, the process of examination, and the continuous pursuit of wisdom. As Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living. So let these philosophical ideas be a starting point for your own examination of life, reality, and what it means to be human. Thank you for joining me on this philosophical journey. May these ideas inspire you to think deeply, live authentically, and continually seek wisdom in your own life. Remember, in the words of Bertrand Russell, the value of philosophy is in fact to be sought largely in its very uncertainty. Embrace that uncertainty, for it is the beginning of wisdom.